Hey, good day everyone. Pasebolic here. This is now the second game for today, January 19, 2024 NBA Game Day. This is an interconference battle between San Antonio Spurs and Charlotte Hornets, which will happen at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So that's going to be 8 o'clock a.m. here in Manila. I'm just inviting everyone who have not subscribed yet to our YouTube account or YouTube channel, Pasay Baller. Please click on the subscribe button below. At the same time, hit on that bell logo. That way, automatically, you guys will be receiving notifications whenever new videos are uploaded. Approaching this game, San Antonio Spurs, they got a record of 7 wins and 33 losses, while for Charlotte Hornets, they have a record of 8 wins and 30. We all know that we actually provide free picks right here in our YouTube channel, but for those who would want to avail our premium picks or premium packages, you might want to reach us through Instagram, Telegram, WhatsApp, or even Messenger. Just check on the descriptions of our videos and you would see the details right there. By the way, the spread that is given is minus 4.5, and that's given towards Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets, they would have the home court advantage on this. In terms of momentum, well, it's going to be tough to talk about momentum if both of these teams that we're looking at, have been losing. I mean, approaching this game, the Spurs, they have lost 3 straight. The Hornets, approaching this game, they have lost 6 straight. But for the last 10 games, the Hornets have only won once, while the Spurs, they have won 3. A couple. They have won a couple of games out of their last 10 games. So there's really nothing to look at in terms of momentum because these two teams are some of the most struggling teams that we have in the NBA right now. In terms of fatigue, well, both teams are coming off rest, so we can just skip that part. And perhaps let's just go ahead and check on the availability and health for both teams. Starting with San Antonio Spurs, I see 4 players out, and those are Sissoko, their number 1 pick, Victor Wembanyama, Zach Collins, and Charles Bassey. So again, 4 players confirmed out for the Spurs, including their best player. Now for Charlotte Hornets, they also got a lot in their IL, and those who are confirmed out are Mark Williams and Gordon Hayward. So the absence of Gordon Hayward just really added a lot towards the struggles that Charlotte was already having early on. Now we also have McGowan's, Brandon Miller, and Nick Richards listed as game time decision for Charlotte. But in terms of health, I gotta say that the Hornets got a slight advantage over the Spurs because number 1, again, Spurs won't have their best player, and number 2, the Hornets only got a couple of players who are confirmed out. Those 3 that I mentioned, McGowan's, Brandon Miller, and Nick Richards. Who knows? Maybe a couple or maybe all 3 of them would actually play. So that could really catapult, the firepower that Charlotte would have on this particular game. All right, now these are the types of games that are very interesting, but at the same time hard to predict. Two teams, both struggling, and both are coming from losses. You can't really figure it out because again, there are no bases as to how and as to what kind of a team would show up on this particular matchup. So for me, on this particular matchup, I'm just going to be basing it on number 1, who's at home, and number 2, the one who has advantage in terms of the roster. Now, when we talk about the roster, I gotta give an advantage again towards Charlotte Hornets because Wembanyama is actually not playing for the Spurs. Now, the last time that these two teams actually played one another, the Spurs actually took care of that, and they even had it via blowout. But again, remind you, Wembanyama was there, and Wembanyama scored like 25, 26 points. Now imagine that Wembanyama won't be here on this particular game, and again, it's gonna be in Charlotte's home at this time. And again, Ball, although at that game Ball already played, but Ball would really have more opportunities to score because there's no Wemby in the middle for the Spurs defense. So I'm gonna side with Charlotte Hornets, and I'll go ahead and take that minus 4.5. I know it's kind of tricky because again the Hornets themselves are having some trouble scoring. That's one of their weaknesses right now out of a lot of weaknesses. That's the first thing for me that they need to address. Their scoring. But on this roster that they currently have for this matchup, they do have Ball, they do have Rozier, and they do have some bigs who can actually receive those drop passes that Ball can actually issue. Man, I'm gonna side with Charlotte Hornets in here. Now go ahead and take that minus 4.5. Again, that's Hornets minus 4.5. Peace out. Pasay love and God bless.